Hello, this is Marshall Zhukov, and here we are together again on YouTube. Maybe a little noisy with the traffic around this parking lot where I went to. A little bit warm still, too. I'm going to change the vehicle settings here. Maybe if anybody can see it. I'm going to override the automatic turn-off so I can keep all the lights and stuff on while I'm doing this. So, I know it's been a while since I've really been doing any videos or anything like that, and I got a few from when I had my Honda, so the Honda is now gone, and this has replaced it. I got a new 2019 Indian Roadmaster. It's been almost 2 months now. We're almost up to 1,000 miles, so that's good, that's nice, I like that. So it's kind of a 1,000-mile review kind of a thing. The lights are coming on overhead already, I guess. So, first off, it's a considerable upgrade from what I had before. And as I'm going around, walking around it and stuff, you can see I've added some lights, and you can see the red air horns down there at the bottom of the fender and stuff. And all these lights came from my Honda that I put over onto this one. So, I'm hoping in the other part of the video, I think I'm going to put them all together and be able to show the lights from different distances and be able to hear the exhaust from different distances. So I bought this new. It's a 2019 from a dealer, and it was their touring model or whatever, if you'll call it that they would send around, and I guess people would take short rides on it, even though it's their touring model Roadmaster motorcycle. And it's got the stage 1 I had done to it. The stage 1 mufflers they put on them I didn't like. They weren't loud enough for me. I went and got the tab performance with the zombie baffles, so that's what you heard in the second part of the video. I tried to duplicate in the same area, the same parking lot, what I did in the first one, so the sounds would be the same or similar. And the tips are just the ones that I picked out at the dealer. He said, oh, pick out some tips. You can ignore the zip ties that I haven't cut yet. I just got that stuff on, and we probably won't be able to see it yet because of the light from above, but you can see this projector is projecting this light onto the ground, the transformer logo. I like those. So far it's a real upgrade from what I had before. It's got the adjustable windscreen. It's nice to keep it low when it's warmer out. The seat is pretty comfortable. It's a stock seat, heated grips. The backrest is aftermarket. I'll have to put a link to the YouTube channel where I got that. The company that makes it has a good video about it. And it's got plenty of storage. Whatever they advertise their motorcycles to have, 37 gallons of storage or 27 gallons of storage or whatever with the trunk and the saddlebags. So that's nice. Don't have to worry about anything getting wet. It did come with this pump here, which is nice. You can pump up the adjustable shock, which is under the side cover here. There's just a standard tire air fitting. Pull the cover off and it's there. So far in these 1,000 miles, it's been really great. It's got the stereo. It's got everything I never had before. Not that there's anything wrong with my Honda and my VTX, but the timing was right, and it was just a good opportunity to move on, I guess. So I've got my garage door opener up here. So far, everything's been really good with it. It uses the CAN bus system, their electrical system on these motorcycles, so with some things it's a little tricky to plug and play. All of the lights on it are LED, which is nice. I like anyways. I've got a kit coming. I'm going to remove the cover here, and then it's going to turn these turn signals, because these aren't running lights. They're turn signals only. They're going to turn them into running lights, and they'll still operate as turn signals. So, you can see the war bonnet there. It's got a little LED light in it as well. And we can see the leg fairings have some vents in them. So on hot days, warm days like today, you can ride with them open. What I've noticed is I've only had it in the rain once already, which, I mean, I'm not exactly a fair weather rider, but if I can avoid getting soaked, that's nice. But the rain comes right up over the top of this, and it'll hit your knee. But otherwise, it's a pretty decent bubble that you kind of sit in while you're sitting on the seat riding with the windshield extended all the way up. Pretty deep saddlebags, pretty good size. The exhaust was easy. These are slip-ons, so you can see the brake right at the bottom of the saddlebag there, where the stock heat shield comes back and the mufflers slip on. It's a simple, quick change. 2 bolts on the slip-ons on the exhaust bracket, and then the clamp where it plugs into the stock header pipe. So it's the 111 Thunderstroke motor, which is a 1800 and like some little bit of change cc motor, 1810 or 12 or whatever it is. So far I'm really happy with it. It's like riding the couch when you're going down the freeway, and it's really quite excellent. I've always been interested in the Indians. That's why I got the VTX with the big fender, because I always liked the Indians that had the big fenders on them too. So I had it in for the 500-mile service, and since then it's been doing great. It's got, I'd say, a fair amount of power. It's a 900-pound motorcycle, I think they advertise it as. So it's a heavy bike. It's about from tip to tip, fender to fender, as long as my VTX was. It doesn't look like it right now, but when I measured, it was. But if you're on the fence about it, looking at one, looking for reviews and stuff, it's not really a very good and comprehensive review, but the ride command is pretty nice. You can Bluetooth your phone and other devices to it, so you can play music or whatever. It's got a small storage space in the dash area. This model has 4 speakers, 2 in the front, 2 in the back here, and it's pretty good sound. I'd play it for you, but probably get some copyright, whatever. You can have different views, different setups. It's got navigation, and it's pretty easy to interface with all the buttons over here. The horn and the light are self-explanatory. You can go through your presets with the flip of a button. It has a flasher function, so you just long press the turn signal, and the flashers will come on. We can see in the back here. It looks like it's flashing on the concrete right there, but that's just the P3 taillight. The taillights that I have on here. On the camera, they're going to look like they're almost flashing, but that's just the shimmer that they produce. Maybe you can see it in the window reflection too, but that's just to help make this, the front and rear lights, the front does the same also, more visible to the human eye, especially out in traffic. So I'll leave links to all that stuff down in the description for what I've done. Tab Performance has a discount for like first responders or military, stuff like that. You have to fill out and get approved for. It's just a link that I saw on their site that they offer. So if anybody is interested in that and thinking about tab exhaust, I'd recommend it. I really like the sound of this one. So I'll try to incorporate everything in one video for one go. And if you have any questions more specific of something that you saw that I didn't mention or talk about, feel free to make a mention, and I'll do what I can to answer it. It's a little bit darker, and even though the light's on out here, you can still see the projections on the ground. But a couple things that I thought of once I left on the ride home that would be good to know is probably the one that everybody's been asking so far after they've heard it. Can you still hear the stereo or the radio or the music? Yes. I don't have any issue with that. These have a feature that when you're cruising at highway speeds, the music is elevated. There's a sensor that makes it louder, so you can hear it with all the road noise and whatever else. And when you slow down or come off like an exit and come to a stoplight or whatever, the music will automatically turn itself down. It's got volume control too. Some stations, I think I noticed, play louder than other ones. No matter how high you turn it, it won't go louder, it sounds like, but that's just going to have to be whatever you figure out when you, if you ride one or get one or have been riding one. The other one is this gas gauge. I think it's a liar. If I'm getting 35.6 miles per gallon average, which was a little higher till I was rapping on it in the parking lot, but I've basically used just over a gallon because it was closer to 40, I think, maybe when we started. But I mean, there's just over a gallon that's gone, and it's a 5.5 gallon tank. So there's 4.5 gallons left in there. I'm not a math major, but we're sitting here and the gauge is going down in range. So you just have to get used to it. I guess I'm still learning, trying to see how much fuel I can put in it without running it out, basically. I don't know if that's like an issue, but I think if you're cruising on a long trip or something, it probably would do a little better at that. The next thing is all of the controls that we see right here are adjustable. You can loosen the bolts and you can change the angle of the levers on both sides, as well as the handlebars. They're adjustable wherever they are down in there, and they can be adjusted up and down slightly too. Now these are the how would you call it, the reduced reach handlebars, so they're a little bit longer, so they come back a little bit further closer to me. I also had a lowering shock put on it. I'm not the tallest person, but maybe that wasn't necessary. I don't know, but it rides really smooth still. It handles great. For a big bike, it's pretty nimble, and I mean, I wasn't doing anything special in the parking lot, but you can get some sharp U-turns and keep them within probably like 18 feet anyways. So, and I've been out practicing a little bit because it's a new bike. Want to get to learn the bike and the friction zone with the clutch and RPMs and stuff like that. But those were the two main questions I think I remembered that I should probably say something about. So I think now that's most of it. So if anybody's got anything else, feel free. So for now, Marshall Zukov signing out.